Welcome to day 2 of the Foundation Sprint workshop based on Jake Knapp's and John Zeratsky's book, Click. I'm Dana Vetan, and in this lesson, you'll learn how to explore alternative approaches or backup plans so you don't get overly committed to a single idea before you've had a chance to consider other possibilities. Because let's face it, sometimes your first idea isn't necessarily your best idea. If you're new to the Foundation Sprint, be sure to watch What is the Foundation Sprint video and go through day 1 lessons first. You can find all the links in the description below. On day 1, your team aligned on the basics and identified key differentiators, established principles, basically to keep everyone focused. Now it's day 2, and after a good rest, your team is ready to take their assumptions further and start thinking about solutions. Using our Miro board template, and please find the link in the description, welcome your participants back and set the stage for the day by introducing the objective. Today, we'll pressure test our ideas, explore different approaches, and shape a clear, testable hypothesis, one that's ready to be validated throughout design sprints. It's also helpful to do a quick recap of what was accomplished on day 1. Tell them, yesterday you aligned on the basics and you created a mini manifesto that basically defined your unique edge. If day 1 was about alignment, today is about ideation. Today will generate possible approaches and define the founding hypothesis that will get this project off the ground. The agenda looks like this: ideation and decision making in the morning, and then synthesizing everything into a cohesive hypothesis after the lunch break. Once you've set the stage and answered any questions, you'll kick off the first activity of the day, step 3, approaches. Before we jump into approaches, there's a concept we need to define first: pre-pivot. A pre-pivot refers to brainstorming multiple approaches to your idea before you commit weeks or months to just one single path. Think of it like planning multiple travel routes before starting a cross-country trip. You'll be glad you did it if there's a traffic jam. Why it's important? Faster fail, faster success. Real pivots can take months or even years after a product flops. By brainstorming multiple options now, you effectively short circuit that costly cycle. Reduce risk. If your first approach hits a dead end, you've already got ready made alternatives. No need for a complete restart. And 3, bigger pool of ideas. Even if your initial plan works, some backup ideas might inspire features or open up new markets. To capture and compare these backup ideas, we'll use one-page summaries. Think of a summary as a rough blueprint, a concise overview of what the solution is, why it's valuable, and how it might work. Why we like one-page summaries? 3 reasons. Clarity, it forces everyone to boil down the essential problem and solution. 2, brevity, keeps things light. You're not writing a 40-page business plan. And 3, comparability. When every alternative is presented in the same format, it's easier to compare apples to apples and basically make decisions. Okay, now that we've got the definitions out of the way, plan for about 2 hours, including brainstorming discussions and a break for this activity. So, how does it work? If you are the facilitator, it's best to start by reminding your team of the principles they established on day 1 and their unique differentiators so that they keep each concept in line with what they have already prioritized. And you'll find this nicely organized in your mini manifesto frame. Now, after this short recap, go back to step 1 instructions and give everyone 5 minutes of quiet individual time so they can think of different product forms or solutions. If initially they thought to build a mobile app, they could consider alternative approaches like an AI chatbot or voice assistant that offers real-time support, a marketplace or ecosystem that connects users with third-party tools, a gamified experience that turns problem solving into an interactive challenge. Below the instructions, you'll find that every team member has a dedicated area where they can come up with alternative options with basically answers to these questions. What if our first idea totally fails? Then what? What if a competitor found a quicker or cheaper way to solve the same problem? What if we had no technology? How else could we fix this for customers? What if we had unlimited budget or time? Start the timer and let them work. Now, if you remember our data and analytics team, the example use case we are referring through this course, they asked themselves the same what if question. Their original plan focused on a proactive and personalized compliance tool for data protection and security professionals. When they asked themselves these what if questions, they came up with alternative approaches like Team, for example, a web platform with dashboards and automated alerts, Ina, AI powered compliance assistant, plus an obligation mapping assistant, Tom, embedded compliance API that integrates into existing legal tech and GRC platforms, Mia, proactive compliance intelligence feed, AI personalized news and insight, plus daily and weekly digest email, and then a mobile app for compliance on the go and push notifications, and so on. Now that the team thinks of these solutions, you can also ask them to jot down who else might benefit from what they are creating. Which other customer segments could we focus on if our plan A doesn't work out? Are there like niche groups who might benefit from this more? Could a complete different audience have the same problem we're trying to solve? What if we targeted customer segments with fewer competitors? Team members can basically connect these new customer groups with their product approaches or list them independently. For example, our data analytics team thought about large compliance teams needing a real time dashboards or external consultants wanting a community driven hub or executives who need compliance insights on the go, like a mobile focused app. Team members can connect new customer segments with the product approach or simply list them independently. Either is fine as long as they are exploring. Okay, so the next step is to narrow down options and focus on the most promising one. The facilitator gives each team member three dots, which they can distribute however they wish on one single idea they love or spread them out throughout multiple options. Encourage everyone to consider feasibility, impact, and alignment with day one differentiators when they're placing their votes. Remind them to keep also the principles in mind. Does this idea stay true to what makes our product truly unique? Once the votes are in, quickly talk about top voted concepts. A few guiding questions here are: how does this approach better serve our users? Does it solve the core problem more effectively or more efficiently? The decider now has the opportunity to look at the leading ideas. They will pick 3, 5 overall concepts, including any new customer segment if they find it's relevant to keep. And these become your official shortlist or backup solutions. What you will do, you will basically move them into this area, into this highlighted area labeled shortlisted options. Once you've narrowed down your top voted ideas, it's time to ensure the entire team understands each one. When you're juggling with multiple approaches, confusions can creep in. By creating one-page summaries, you'll have a great snapshot of what each idea is, what it matters, and how it works. This clarity makes it far easier to compare, refine, and ultimately select the best options. The facilitator moves each winning idea, winning approach from your shortlisted options area into its own one-page summary template on this Miro board. Then everyone chooses one idea they want to summarize. Team members can write their name on the sticky note next to the approach they are taking. First come, first serve. That approach is now yours to distill and clarify. As a facilitator tip, encourage each person to pick an approach they are generally curious or excited about. Now, assign 30 minutes for this activity. Ask each person to complete the one-page summary template for their chosen idea. Guide your team to the template by using our predefined template on the Miro board. Start with the title. Ask them to give the clear, memorable name that hints at what it does. For example, Slack based onboarding body program. Then, in one sentence, describe the problem this approach solves and how it solves it. Try to keep it short. You can dig into more details later, but this simple sentence should convey the core benefit. And then, sketch. Ask the team members to draw a simple doodle or a rough interface outline. They can do it on paper and snap a screenshot with their phones, or they can draw directly on the digital board using basic shapes, icons, and text in order to make that idea come to life. Now, going back to our use case, let's see what the different team members from the data analytics team created. This is Ina. She created an AI powered compliance copilot. Here's why this is a good idea. This conversational AI tool helps data protection and security professionals quickly map new or updated regulations to actionable obligations, reducing manual research and ensuring no compliance steps slip through the cracks. Now, her quick sketch, she showed the chat style interface where data protection and security professionals can type a question. The AI assistant replies with a step by step plan, plus links to policy templates and internal context, helping this way users move from confusion to compliance in a matter of clicks. This concise visual summary ensured everyone on the team quickly understood what Ina's idea entailed and why it was valuable without wandering through the pages of text. And let's look now at Mia's one page summary. Her title, Mobile App for Compliance on the Go, why it's a good idea. This solution enables busy data protection and security professionals to receive alerts, track key compliance metrics, and take immediate action from anywhere. Let's see how her doodle looks like. She created a mobile screen showing high level compliance status when it's all green, attention needed, or critical alerts. Also, she showed push notifications that pop up whenever a new risk or urgent task arises. Tapping an alert reveals detailed actions, showing the user to respond in real time without returning to their desktop. So, once everyone finishes their one page summaries, it's time to dig deeper and find what makes each approach uniquely compelling. So, as a facilitator, you will give your team a few quiet minutes to read through all the one page summaries. Encourage them to focus on the core idea behind each approach. No debates and no discussions yet. The goal is simply for everyone to get familiar with the range of backup solutions. Then, after the silent review, have each person note 1 2 positive elements that stand out for each approach. Prompt them to think about the unique benefits or key differentiators that make that idea worth considering. If we go back to our team, let's look at Tom's idea. This approach is about proactive compliance intelligence feed, and some positive criteria about it are time efficiency, as it reduces the daily scramble to monitor multiple news resources, personalized recommendations, as it tracks regions, industries, and compliance focus areas, so professionals get only what's relevant, maybe fewer compliance surprises, as early detection of new regulations helps the team stay ahead of the curve. We can also look at Anton's idea, where he wants to build a community driven knowledge exchange that looks basically like a forum, like a Q&A forum. Here, some positives are real world experiences as it taps into practical knowledge from peers, not just theory. Ongoing learning, a constantly updated forum means new insights whenever regulation shifts. And we have this collective wisdom as crowdsourcing solutions reduces redundant research and fosters this big sense of community. So, by identifying these key positives, the team can highlight what's valuable in each concept. This not only sets the stage for more focused conversations, but it also makes later decision making faster and more clear. Once the positive aspects are noted, it's time for a well deserved break. When you return, your team will have a short list of backup solutions, concise one-page summaries for each top ideas, key positives identified, making the decision process smoother. That's the power of a pre-pivot, exploring possibilities before you're deep into development. Congratulations, you've just completed the first activity of day 2. Take a second and let that sink in. You've just helped your team make a smart strategic move. Instead of getting trapped by one idea, they've opened up multiple pathways. Next, you'll have your team decide which approach is best with the help of magic lenses. That's the next exercise in this workshop. And you can find the link to this lesson in the description below. If you missed any earlier sessions or want to revisit steps along the way, head back to our Foundation Sprint playlist. All these lessons stack together to give you a step-by-step recipe on how to run this workshop with your team. If you want to learn more about mastering stakeholder alignment, our problem framing on demand course is perfect for you. And when you are ready to validate your ideas, not just build them, we can guide your team through every step of the design sprint process, as we happen to have the most effective enterprise design sprint course out there. Thanks for watching and see you in the next lesson, Magic Lens.